Let's talk for a minute about how BGP establishes sessions. By default, we've got in this example 2 routers here across the internet, and you can see that we've got 2 different 3-way handshakes happening. And so each of these routers has an individual router ID. We can see those in this example here. But we have to configure a neighbor manually. So it's not like with OSPF and EIGRP and RIP where we just enable the protocol and give it a network command and boom, it goes. We actually have to say neighbor and then define who the neighbor is and the autonomous system that that neighbor is in. So this is required on both sides, and if they're not configured, then we do not neighbor up. So both sides are going to try to connect. We'll create 2 initial sessions, and that's what you're seeing here. And that happens on TCP port 179. Now the sessions are going to be initiated with a router ID, and whichever session was initiated by the higher router ID is the one that's going to remain. And so the source IP address gets compared against the neighbor statement to make sure we have a neighbor there. And if that's the case, then we're going to keep the session that has the highest router ID. So like I said, that's the router ID, and whichever one is higher, that's the session that's going to remain. Now, why do you think I'm spending time talking about the higher router ID and the directionality of the session establishment? Well, because when we work in a security environment and we've got firewalls in the transit path, the way TCP sessions are established is actually relevant to us. Let's look.